Welcome to the foundation. It is yours truly, the incredible DJ Battle in the building. And man, as you can see, man, the king is the long soldier in here. And hey, it's all good because you know the show must go on. And on that note, hey, let's get straight to disclaimer time. Basically, letting you guys know it's just the king up in here, and I just want to cover a few topics that took place in between the last show and the current one. And hey, as usual, I don't want no drama, no BS, no legal issues because it's for entertainment purposes only. Mm-mm-mm. And on that note, hey, hit that like and subscribe button to get those algorithms cranking up. And hey, let's get ready to jump straight into the show because we got a few things to talk about. Now, we're fresh into the Trump presidency, and hey, he's getting to work quickly. Now, let's talk about this priest that had a job to do of having a prayer. And usually with prayer, you can't really have an agenda or that's like the wrong time, wrong place to insert your message. But I guess you can say this priest was brave by stepping up there in front of Trump and basically laying into him about having mercy on the immigrants and the gays and the trannies and have mercy. Great message, but I don't know about the timing of it. Based off the way he was looking, he was seething over there. Like, can't believe this person over here talking about having mercy. I'm the most merciful president ever, which are the likes that have never been seen before. You know, that sounds like his lingo, right? But you could see he was heated, and I was like, oh boy. I know whatever's going to happen, whatever drama was going to take place, in the coming weeks was going to be on speed dial, or shall I say, he definitely didn't disappoint. It pretty much turned out the way I thought it would. And what do I mean? Where do we start? Well, first of all, the Trump administration calls for the leave of all federal DEI employees. Now, we kind of expected something like this to happen. I've had, some colleagues that brought this to my attention because it was like a freeze on hiring. And he's taking his time to pretty much do what he said he was going to do. He was going to get rid of the DEI. And it's amazing when you see how the reaction from people who think that DEI is I don't know. It's like they almost want to use it as code words for nigga, or anything else, or a person of color or a black person. I'm like, man, just be honest with on how you feel. You ain't gotta use these coded languages. And I'm talking about the folks who say, DEI, we're not qualified to be working. They're taking jobs from qualified Americans. I'm like, do you know what DEI stands for? The employees, the people that represent DEI are qualified to begin with. So that's one part they need to understand. So cool, let them go ahead and have the hiring freeze, and he's going to take time to pretty much get rid of what he considers DEI. So what does that consist of? How do you determine who's DEI or not? Do you take a color chart? Going from the color spectrum of light to dark, and you just pick a color, and anything darker than that color is determined to be, DEI. I'm wondering. I'm wondering because white women are also included in DEI. So I guess everything is I don't know. I guess this is supposed to protect a particular demographic from the dominant society. I don't know. And from my understanding, I've talked to a lot of company CEOs or folks who are in a higher position, and it's like they don't understand this law, to be honest. because they can't even find qualified people to begin with, white, black, any other color. So you're just going to automatically just take out a certain demographic based off of phenotype and get rid of them. And where does it end? I mean, is this just going to be federal employees, government employees? He's going to not only stop there, but also have it spill over into the private sector. Probably try to find certain companies that they feel like a DEI hire is taking a position of someone from the dominant society. I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely something to think about, and it's just the times we're in, man. It is insane. I don't know no other way to say it. Now let's look at some of the other things that's taking place. Check this out. It says he's also going to revoke the 1965 Civil Rights Act, right? So we're like, whoa, we reaching back to when, you know, back in back when Dr. King was living, and he's going to revoke the 1965 Civil Act that prohibited employment discrimination on race, color, and national origin, right? So you would think something like this should be common sense, but apparently not. Up until 1965, you was able to discriminate on hiring. Like, I know the law means well, and we know in the civil rights era, the main thing was blacks in general wanted to be included. I'm just going to tell you right now that before the civil rights movement, blacks was doing very well, to be honest with you, in their own community. They had their own jobs. Down here in the Carolinas, Winston-Salem, you had bus companies, and throughout the South in general, a lot of blacks were doing well in that period of time. But for some reason or another, it was about being included and being a part of the white establishment, or the dominant society establishments. So I'm thinking, if you're doing well in your own community and having patronage through your own community, and you're thriving in your own community, why would you want to force a company or the government to make a company include you if they don't want you there? So that's the only issue I have with that period of time, because once you want to integrate, who suffered from it? The companies that were owned by blacks and African Americans, or blacks in general, those companies suffered the worst. Went out of business because they wanted to be included in somebody else's table. You want to sit in somebody else's restaurant and force them to serve you. I just don't agree with that mindset. I just don't. I don't agree with forcing somebody to serve me, or if they don't want to do business with me, they shouldn't have to. Build your own community up. I'm all for that. It looks like Trump is going to take us back to that period of time where we don't have a choice. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but sometimes, and not just sometimes, it's just common sense to me to go be somewhere where you're appreciated and wanted. If a company don't want to deal with you, they shouldn't have to deal with you. That's cool. That's just business you lose out on. You don't have to force somebody to include you. I just don't agree with that mindset. And like I say, I believe we suffered the most under that period. So most people may look at me and be confused, or say, how can I say that? Well, think about it. Why would you want to be somewhere, force someone to serve you that don't want to deal with you? Just doesn't make sense. Build your own stuff up, and then maybe down the line they'll respect you, and then we can break bread that way. But nah, I'm not. I don't like being in a position of begging to have someone do anything for me. Nah, just doesn't make sense. You know, People still going to hire who they want to hire. You look at how certain schools and universities, or even jobs, they still figure out ways to discriminate based off of your name. Hell, just a basic application, you can look and see what a race is. And I've talked to people who run like charter schools, or places of employment where they say, yeah, they do discriminate, or they do kind of look at someone's name and race and pick who they choose to meet a certain demographic, or should I say a certain quota. It's still done. People may not believe it or think, oh, it's crazy or far fetched, but it happens. That's why you have charter schools, because it's public school using public money, but you can pick and choose your demographic. Like I said, I've talked to enough people to get admission that yeah, they do it. So it is what it is. So we look at the Justice Department. They're freezing all civil cases that in civil rights. So in cases like the Breonna Taylor situation, or any situation where there's a civil rights issue, those cases are being frozen, and I'm sure they'll probably get tossed to the side. Charges to get dismissed. Certain level of immunity will be leveled out, and it's no surprise. This is the world we live in, and we're the period right now where you just got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself, and don't expect no favor, no help. You can do the best you can to stay out of trouble, but sometimes trouble will come up on you. It's better to be judged by a certain level of jurors than to be carried out in the casket. So you just got to protect yourself at the end of the day, and that's just a basic human right. Most people will say, "Well, this is what happened. You didn't vote Democrat." Nah, the that's it's not even that, because both sides are. We already know is two fangs of the same head of the snake. So you really have to take a step back from both parties and do what's best for you and empower yourself to the point to where they have to meet your demands to a certain level. But that's just my take on it. I don't rock with either side. It is what it is. I sit back and look at this with a beverage and some popcorn. At the end of the day, this is not our fight. We got to take care of ourselves and take care of our own agenda, just our own backyard. There's just no other way around it. They showing you that. They gonna do what they do for themselves. We gotta do the same. Build our community up, build yourself up, and make the best decision. Try to walk a straight and narrow path. Yeah, it's amazing, man. The times we're in. It's both dangerous and but you still got to be optimistic. Let me just get out that topic because it's like I say, it's controversial, very difficult for some people to stomach. Now let's take it up to the great state of Michigan, man. Now this situation right here, man, is insane. And you can imagine, man. I'm a father, and anytime I hear about a man going through child support issues, if he's a deadbeat, then yeah, he does. He deserves it. You know what I'm saying? But we know all know how tricky that can be, especially if you're dealing with a woman that's crazy. In this situation right here, a man up in Michigan, and his name is Carnell Alexander, is being forced to pay $30,000 in back child support. Now that right there, you say, well, damn, dude. You would think, well, what's going on? Then you look into it, and he says, he's not even the child's father, so he don't understand how he's responsible for it. And I'm like, yeah, if he's not the father, he took the DNA test and it proved he wasn't the father. Then I'm thinking, well, how in the hell he end up in this predicament? Surely he didn't sign the birth certificate, I hope, without having that evidence. Come to find out, the mother of the child signed his name up there. Signed his name up there, probably because she knew he had a decent job. Who knows? But when they did interview her, she said, yeah, she did it because she had to put somebody's name up there, and she just put his up there out the blue. Now that right there, my friend, is that's foul. That's foul, and that shows you right there that the system is not working in regards for the best interest of the child. More importantly, you just ruining lives because this man had he has to avoid the law. It messed with his employment. It kind of takes a hit at your reputation as well because it paints you as a deadbeat. But then to know that it's been proven he's not on a DNA test, and for this woman to try to get 30K out of him, to me, that's not something innocent. That's not a victimless crime right there. You ruin this dude's life. This is insane, and he's fighting it. And he has a lawyer that's trying to clear him. But now that it's public and it's known what she done and she admitted to it, I'm sure he'll probably he'll she should get out of it. But man, you see the stuff men go through, especially brothers. Oh my goodness, that right there is evidence that a DNA test at birth should be mandatory, married or not. Period. That should be mandatory. Oh man, I can only imagine what this brother's going through. But at least it's public and it's known, so he can get out that situation. And I'm thankful for it, boy. Whoa, whew. Ah, it's a new day, man. To be honest with you, especially in this country, um, I think it should be more incentives and tax breaks for hell for even married couples that have kids. There should be a whole lot. We should get like 20,000 just because, or there should be a whole lot more tax benefit than what it is. Because of to me it incentivized working things out and building the community up, which is something you should want instead of having a system where you reward a woman for basically raising a broken home. Where she could live off the system of five, six, seven kids from three or four different baby fathers. You got to have some type of order and some type of incentive for families, and there is some besides the obvious, but there should be even more. I think Gaddafi had that down. Yeah, I think he was giving like 50,000. Was it 50,000 for married couples? Oh man, I was like, man, we need to go move to Libya. But that's a whole different story. I'm not going to venture off into that. But yeah, I thought that was interesting though, for real. I really did. Man, but definitely big shout out to this brother, Carnell Alexander. Whew, he looks like he's gonna dodge a bullet. Now, this last one, man. This one right here is head scratcher for a number of reasons. For anyone that came across this story of a woman that filed for divorce 30 days after her husband got fired from his job. So I'm thinking to myself, what the hell does that mean? And then you look into it, and this is coming from her mouth. If anyone's seen the clip, she said he got fired. She had an issue with it, and if she was going to pay bills, he had to pay it back. I was like, damn, I guess that's some agreement they have. But every marriage is different. Everyone has their agreement. So he signed up for this first and foremost. Of course, the 30 days go by, he don't have a job. So she basically going in on him like, your money is my money, and you pay the bills, and my money is my money. So I'm like, okay, well, once again, he knew what he signed up for, right? So time goes by, and she's upset and venting to his friend about the financial situation. And in her own words, one thing led to another. And of course, she ended up filing for divorce. And she, taking her chances with the husband's friend. So I'm like, hold up. First and foremost, the code has been broken, man. Come on, man. What kind of friends you got that'll sit there and entertain and basically break her off, and now he's gonna take her basically? Then to me, that wasn't your friend, partner. You know, let's get past the part that okay, she already felt like she wasn't being provided for. She was gonna leave you on that alone. But what's up with your homeboy? That means your homeboy had his eye on her the whole time. That ain't something that just happened. That ain't something you just confide in someone and then he just break your back off and then everything is, as she put it, he's the man. He's the man that she always dreamed of. Dude. I was like, boy, y'all, like I said, everyone's different, man. Everybody has they have their way of doing things, but that right there broke the code, man. But like I say, he probably had this plan the whole time, and so does she. This is not something that happened overnight. No matter how she try to paint it, it's always three sides to a story. So, so yeah, man. That's my spiel for right now until the next show. Hey, like I say, go ahead and subscribe, share with your folks. Let's get on that algorithm. Let's get these numbers up. And I'll definitely give you guys a shout later on the next show. Until then, peace.